Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Island UK Season 1, Episodes 7 through to 10. Now, Chris, where would you like to start today?
Well, Dave, obviously we're concluding the whole of the show. As you say, Episode 10 is the reunion. We're going to finish it all off, as we said last week. I've sort of... watching it and seeing like people say about the Aussie version, and I'm thinking, knowing like the maths and the way that plays out, I am sort of like thinking, not for us to necessarily to cover Dave, because you would fucking definitely want to eventually punch me, but just it sort of pricked me interest because I think this has had such good moments in it, but I think it could be better, and I don't know whether it's because it's in the UK and the Aussies just don't give a shit and just say it how it is. But I feel as if these bits in this that it could have been like top tier reality TV, and I think by the end of it, and I'm not, we'll talk about what's happened this week, it almost feels like we were watching a maths knockoff from the fucking pound shop or something, or from Wish or something. It feels like that, even though it's made by the same people, the idea and the concept, it just, I feel at times it's just missing something, even though they are a bunch of bellends.
I agree, and like you say, if we just look at Married at First Sight, the Aussies always bring it, don't we? Don't they?
Don't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do, mate. Yeah.
I think there was that one, not the last Married at First Sight UK. I think it was the season before where it was, a bit fucking bonkers, and it did raise the bar, but then the Aussies just raised it even further with the next season. So I don't know actually what the secret ingredient is. I kind of feel like it's in the casting, but for this gaggle of bellends, I don't know if they could have got many better people who are just that reality fodder. They don't want to cast like normal people, do they? They just want to get these fucking fame wannabe bellends who are trying to promote whatever, either be a reality star or promote their OnlyFans, or we'll get onto all of that stuff. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but I agree with you. This kind of promised quite a lot, and I don't think it quite delivered.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because and you say that. I will say, Dave, one of the characters through this whole process of watching this show, who I thought was a dick from the start, is Lloyd. However, I've sort of got like a little bit, not respect, but I'm sort of like thinking, he's broke the fourth wall of reality TV. He's basically gone, well, this is fucking shit. I'm going to get paid more money doing something else and go and date someone else. And it's like, he's gone, and I'm so surprised that the producers have allowed it and allowed that conversation, because he kept saying it over and over. They're like, we're going to have to include this. But this is like literally hit them looking at the audience and saying, every reality show you watch is fake. Everything you see is fake. When you watch these end of these shows and they reveal the studio, and they did it on one, I know you want to watch one called The Hills years ago with that Heidi and Spencer. And Sam watched it. I never really watched it. Sam watched it. But the last episode, they literally pulled the curtain back and pulled the studio back and went, it was all fucking fake. But the whole show it's real. And I found him as a character and what they've allowed really, really interesting, because it's like me and you doing the old Chandler. I knew it. It's like, and I think what's happened with, and I've gone off on a complete tangent because we're literally going to
start with Lloyd, shall we?
Yeah, let's start with Lloyd. But I feel that by him doing what he's done, because he said like, this is my career, this is my money, and blah blah blah, and he said it last week. He's made the contestants in this even more fucking desperate and more obvious that every single contestant is only in there for that career we always talk about. I know people might get sick of it, but I felt that watching it, he's literally exposed everyone on the show. And I found that really fascinating how they would come back from that.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing this on any other show where it's literally It's said. It's not just cut out in the edit. It's literally said. Lloyd said, this reality stuff is going to be his career, and he can't be asked hanging around to see the end of this show.
Yeah.
He's basically off to another one. I'm kind of intrigued. What is that other one?
Yeah, I want to see it. I sort of want to see it now, like, because you're going to know that's fake because he's already told us he's getting paid for it. So how invested is he going to be in that? That's what we talk about. We poke fun at it. It's pretty much the stick is our thing of the podcast, isn't it? These fucking blaggers, influencer lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. But this is something like you say, we've never seen it. And I found it really interesting watching it, just going, well, we knew this, but I can't believe. And we have heard from other people on other shows when they've done reunions or they've talked like on other podcasts. They do it on Love Island, don't they? When they do that thing, which I still find baffling, that contestants can leave the show, go on these podcasts on YouTube and just ruin everything that goes on. They've broken that magic, and there's no NDA for them to sign. They literally go on and just fucking absolutely throw everyone. But they'll talk about, he was in there saying, I just want money, like this situation with Jono and Lauren on Maths Australia. He's come out and said from the get-go, you told me you were with someone and you were in here from the show. So that whole thing at the dinner party, which they edited out, and they edited out all the other contestants having a go at you and made it look like it was me making you cry when I didn't. I'm not saying Jono's a complete dick. However, it is interesting to see that edit and everything. But with this, they just were like, we're going to have to fucking run with this, because how can we say after 7 episodes someone's fucked off and gone, see ya, this is fucking shit, I'm going to earn some money. I found that baffling, to be honest.
I think it's a little bit of a gamble by them, because we've seen other reality shows, haven't we, where people have just disappeared. And it's like, due to medical reasons or due to personal reasons, this person is no longer here. We've seen that happen loads of times. So to actually show it, and like you say, break down the fourth wall. I'm pretty sure from our first episode, I said Lloyd is, he's a bit of a villain, but he's not very good at playing this reality game, is he? He's just like, just only here for the one night stands, really. That was it. I don't know. I think when Brody turned up, I think he was expecting some stunner and, just have a bit of fun time and then get paid and then go off to do his next reality gig. That seems to be the plan. He's not doing the whole, like The Bachelor. They're the best at it, aren't they? Oh yeah, I'm here for love. I just really want to find the right person, and they've got it. The lines are all there. You could fucking just watch an episode of The Bachelor or a few episodes, cobble together something, and then just give us those lines, and then happy days. We all kind of know it. It's this dirty little secret. We all know it, but there's that tiny little element of doubt, isn't there? It's like, they might be there for the right reasons. People like Michelle, right? We'll come on to her, I'm sure. I'm sure she's there, not for the reality TV career, but I might be wrong in that. But yeah, with Lloyd, it was super interesting, wasn't it? And to literally have him in there, I mean, you've shot all the footage, you've had people following him around, so maybe he got halfway through his contract and dropped it then, so the production had no choice. Otherwise, you'd just recast him at the start, wouldn't you, if you knew he was going to drop out before the end? But to like literally have that as a plot point, and to talk about this other reality TV dating show, I don't know. I feel like they were trying to throw him under the bus maybe a little bit, but you're playing with fire because we call it out all the time. But a lot of people do just watch these shows and buy it all. And so, if you get those people sort of questioning, well, what's real then? I feel like on the whole genre, this whole reality dating TV show, it's kind of putting that element of doubt into people's minds, isn't it?
It is. And you say that. I think one of the other shows, as we're talking, said about The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, still the greatest ever on The Bachelorette, when that guy randomly had a frisk down of his case and they found like his plot to win The Bachelor. Yeah. And it's like, hang on a minute, all you fucking dead legs. The fucking host was there. Once she came in and fucking, I can't remember bloody name. She came in and just did a shakedown on his fucking case. No one else's.
Yeah.
He's got a plan. Fucking pinpoint fucking plan and all that. And we were like,
because he's basically Dory. If he doesn't write it down in 3 seconds, that's it. He's fucked. He's forgotten his whole plan. His whole dastardly plan has to be written down and left in his case for someone to find.
With his twirling moustache, yeah. And still in that same series, we also got one of the greatest fucking fake things ever when that guy fucking Clayton, who had the fucking personality of a doorstop.
I think that was all of a series after, wasn't it?
Because that was the series after. Well, all of a sudden, he's playing with kids from nowhere, and he's like, "Oh, what a guy!"
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You're from nowhere. Yep. He was nothing, was he? He was not even mentioned. And then it was like, Clayton's the new Bachelor. How the fuck is this guy who had, let's say, a doorstop, like an IKEA wardrobe worth of personality? Fucking, he was nothing. He was like a plank of wood one. It was so shit. But you knew it was a setup, a talent agency. It'd all been fucking blagged. And it's like you say, I think you're right. I think that's a great analysis of that, Dave. I actually think that they thought they were going to throw him under the bus. But I think not just us who do this and take the piss and everyone who listens to our podcast knows what we do and we all are the same, the Bellends and all that. I think normal people who watch these shows going into it also are aware. Like, we do little spots, don't we? And I talk to different people when you on the radio, and they know I don't even have to say anything. They'll go, yeah, well, we know they're all after that Instagram life afterwards. It's a thing. People know it. Friends of mine watch these shows and go, these aren't really in love. I mean, look at Callum. The whole thing with Callum of Love Island, I the first-hand info that it was a career move more than anything. He's defined love great, but that's Love Island. We buy it as an audience and everything, but that is what they're there for. But yeah, like I said, I've gone off on a proper 10-minute tangent, but I've really wanted to speak to you about it because I found it fascinating this week. I won't say any more because I keep saying the same thing, but they're brilliant.
So yeah, before we move off our central character, Lloyd there, I was going to say Floyd there for some reason. Before we move off him, I mean, Brody was obviously checked out from the start, wasn't she? There was nothing going to happen there. So there's no real tension or anything with that triangle. The only tension was, Lloyd's kind of relationship with Danica and Emily. It was weird because she seemed to still be quite invested up to a point, and then she wasn't. And then again, I was kind of left questioning, well, are you just playing it up as well? Because, I mean, Lloyd, he is all the walking red flags, isn't he? So why are you kind of so invested at the start, even when he's flicking through his Instagram photos or whatever, and he's saying, oh, pick the one who I snogged. What do you reckon to Emily? Because I don't think I liked Chris. I don't think I liked anyone on this show, I'll be honest. But at first I thought, oh, well, she seems kind of vaguely normal. But then I wasn't so sure in the end.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was maybe Jack, Lloyd is with Zaralina. He seemed like the only sort of plausible, normal person that I can relate to. I think he's actually a sound guy. I think everyone else brought something where I was like, oh, actually, you are a dick, But yeah, she was there for this, wasn't it? Like it is the whole thing and getting that little bit of tension because she had a kick off with Danica, didn't she? Like the dinner party and the thing is with Danica, what was interesting is she obviously is attracted to people who just basically treat them keen, and like treating means, like keep them keen. I know it's a cliche, but yeah, basically bad boys who are just dicks basically and don't have no respect for her. But she feels that she can sort of change them. And that's what I think the attraction was to Lloyd. She even said that to Moses, didn't she? Who she was supposed to be dating. She said, like, yeah, I'm really attracted to him. I don't know why. I just need to know what's there, basically. And even when Lloyd had said, yeah, I'd have it last week, I'd have it be a one-night stand. And Emily sat there and this is going on. And Emily and her go at it. And it's like, but you're really used to her aiming your anger at the wrong person. It's Lloyd who's played all of you. And Danica wasn't even with Lloyd. It was just like that whole first setup of the kiss, and that was bullshit for me. Like, I still can't understand that. Like, Danica was just like laughing at anything he said. He's like, my name's Lloyd. And she's going, oh, that's hilarious. And she's like leaning into it. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, Have they met before? Have they been Instagram stalking each other? What the hell's going on? So, yeah, Emily is just a fucking no mark, and she's not the only one, Dave. They're all absolutely thirsty as fuck. And like I just said before, my little mini tangent is Lloyd leaving has also made them all look really silly because they're trying to stay on this and try and stay as relevant as they can. And I think Emily was just after her 5 minutes of fame, I think, for being on the show.
Yeah, I mean, in all the fakeness, you're searching, aren't you, for like what is real? What are the real bits? And I do kind of feel like the beef between Emily and Danica, I do feel like that was real.
It possibly could be. It could be, but the person, as I say, it should have been someone else they directed that to. They could have teamed up, Dave, like some of the other girls did, and teamed up. And we're like, we're not having this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A nice little segue, Dave. But let's talk about our traveling Alan Wicker, David Attenborough, Dan, Dave. You know, the man who obviously has been exposed again. He's another one who basically wanted to do it all for the show, a la Richie out of Maths UK a couple of years ago. It only turns it on for the cameras, and the girls kept saying to him, didn't they? You know, Ali and Amy were like, "You're a fucking dick. You've said let's save this for the show. You're not a personality. You don't speak to us. You have no respect for us." For me, I think ultimately, and you called it from the start, Dave. I'm with you. I'm aligning with everything you've said. I think he's the ultimate baddie in this show, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think he was a massive bellend. And the only thing that was, again, it was puzzling me a little bit. It's like, why is Amy defending him? But then Amy seemed to be a bit of a bellend as well. Like the way she was going after Michelle and saying about, you know, don't use your age as a thing to put pressure on a man or something like that. It's like, fucking hell, where's that come from? Pipe down, love. Like, she seemed to do a 180 with Dan, didn't she? Where, you know, she had that argument and he was saying, "Oh, thanks for sharing." And it's like, "Oh, you've been fucking muggy." I'm like, "Oh yeah, here we go." Like, call him out. You know, you've pulled back the veil. But then suddenly, you know, they had this passionate kiss off camera, apparently, and then it's all kind of switched around, and she was all in love for a brief moment, and then, or not in love, but you know, she was at least having a good time with him, and then they realized, no, he is just really a fucking dick. And I just hate the condescending fucking knobsock. He's just fucking so up his own arse. And then even when the girls, because I think Ali had kind of pretty much checked out. She realized she couldn't even have a conversation with him without getting wound up, because he turns everything around to me. And then they're literally saying he's a knobhead, and then he's like, you know, you just don't like me because I wasn't interested in either of you. It's a weird kind of thing to throw back, almost like Jay from the In-Betweeners or something. I don't know. It was just very weird the way he managed to manipulate any situation to make it about himself. So it's not that they think he's dicks. They're just treating him like that because he wasn't romantically interested in him. And I'm just like, oh, you are the biggest cock of them all.
Yeah, he's just a horrible guy. And he had nothing to come back with when like, we know we've said this, the conversations, they obviously like play up to the screen. We've had it in like the math stuff, haven't we? Like, let's remember the first Maths Australia season where we had that guy who looked like 4, and he came in with that girl and she was like, "Look, we've only got 2 more weeks." And he went, "Fuck that. She's told us to keep the act up for 2 weeks. I'm gone. It's been horrible to me." That's what Dan, I think, thought was going to happen. And then you sent me a picture the other day of the socials, and he's fucking hair, his shirt off, 6-pack. You know, he looks after, I've got to go back with a fucking elephant. It's like, what a dick. What a fucking dick. That's exactly why you've gone on the show, to boost this free spirit, fucking I travel the world fucking lifestyle that you're trying to promote. What an absolute fucking weapon he is, Dave.
Yeah, but as well as making everything about himself, which is just like, I mean, he's not the only narcissist on this show, but I mean, what do you think about him basically sharing the nudes of Brody to everyone in the group? I mean,
was no
that
way.
is proper fucking naughty, isn't it? I mean, that's not just like a bit of drama for the show. And then he's trying to blame Ali. He's trying to say, well, you were there, you know, but she wasn't the one who actually fucking subscribed to it. You know, the one who actually shared it around with the group. I thought, well, I don't know, is that fucking borderline illegal now? I genuinely don't know the answer to that, but, you know, it was fucking bang out of order, whichever side of the law it sort of lands on.
Yeah, and it's very Olivia Danica, isn't it, from Mass Australia a couple of seasons ago? Same thing again, sharing. And is that something that's a setup from the producers? It didn't seem it. I mean, I don't. The thing is, I don't understand OnlyFans in that respect. I know we can earn a load of money off it, but she's on a platform there where she's got her OnlyFans. She's obviously making money off the back of it. He subscribed to it. I don't know whether he's paid. I do not know. Did he like her?
They said. So, because Emily said, well, you've won. Because Brody was annoyed, not because she's got an OnlyFans page, because let's face it, that's her fucking reason for being on the show, you know, promoting that. She might have got some extra subscribers. And Emily was saying, oh, well, he's subscribed. He's the one who's paying you money. She's probably just annoyed because she shared around the pictures for free. If she'd have shared a link, if he'd have shared a link,
you said it better than what I was fucking stumbling around. Because basically, I was just going to say, yeah, because she's not getting any money from it. That's probably why she's more annoyed. Because if you're going to go on OnlyFans and do what they do, then fair enough. So yes, that's very true, Dave. Whereas Olivia was vicious, wasn't it?
Yeah, his motivation for it is to embarrass her. It's like, fucking look at this, you know, and so that's what's fucking really toxic and wrong.
Yeah, he's just a weird guy. And again, no, he's not sincere. He's not genuine. Just fucking, the producers have got to look at themselves and go, well, you know, yeah, he's brought the heat, he's brought the drama, but there's got to be in these shows, there's got to be some sort of victory for at least one couple or somebody. And to be fair, the ones who ended up being a couple, I don't even know if they're still together because I can't find any details. I think the press have even given up on it and go, where are they now? And it's like, nobody fucking cares. He's Ali and Jack, the yogi guy who was with Danica. You know, they actually seem like there's a connection there, whereas everyone else is just a fucking bunch of Bellends. But yes, Dan is the Bellend of the week, the Bellend of the series for me.
Should I do it, Chris? I know I said I wasn't going to do it. So should I play that little bit out of the?
Yeah, just
song?
play that little bit, Dave. The song, yeah.
So I will do the full song that I worked on at the end, but this was one that sort of ended up in the bin. But let's see. So
Some young Dan
not done properly.
Tuesday. Dan is a see you next Tuesday. Dan is a see you next Tuesday. Everyone's a fucking Bellend.
We are children, Dave. I love it.
John Lennon's intricate lyrics got nothing on us.
Exactly. Yeah. Fucking brilliant, Dave. But no, it. I think like as the week went on, I felt that it tailed off a little bit. I think like Jasmine and Jack and Matt, all three of them are Bellends, Dave, for me. Yeah. I don't like any of them. I thought Jasmine come across like really entitled, really like sort of it's about me, it's the show I made. You can see what she was doing it for. And then Jack obviously has this fun Jack. I mean, when they came in with them bananas, Dave, doing that, what the fuck was he doing? And Matt's there like, yeah. I just think, and he's saying like, you told me you love me, and she's lying because you can see that. But then Matt's trying to force an argument on him, and he kept going, well, you're a liar, or whatever he was saying. And he said it about 4 times, and everyone in the room's like, yeah, we don't care, Matt. Really don't fucking care. I thought that was just like proper Cheshire Housewives, like he was trying to orchestrate an argument that wasn't really there, if that makes sense. And then he was doing this brooding, moody teenager bit for the rest of the week. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I mean, when Jasmine said about let's have a threesome, and I was like, oh, that's a bit thingy. But looking at Matt, I was like, oh, you're all dicks anyway. I don't really care who fucking gets with who, to be honest.
I mean, weirdly, I felt like out of that threesome, I feel like Jack turned it around for me. When he first came in, I thought, oh, he's a fucking bellend. But I thought the other two were worse. I mean, like you say, when they came in with the bananas, I mean, Chris, the person I would like to be is the person who looks at that and goes, oh, look at that. They're having so much fun. Oh, you can see why they've got that great energy together. But because I'm a cynical old sod, I'm just like, oh, you pair of fucking twats. Just if you did that, I'd just be like, oh, fuck off. I never want to interact with you at all. But also, she fucking knows Matt's going to be there. Yeah. And I think what this interaction showed me was just quite how immature I think she was. I feel like there were a lot of things where I thought Matt was out of order, but I thought she was bang out of order as well. And weirdly, when it became the three of them, I thought Jack sort of toned down and sort of tried to be the normal person in that group. Whereas, like you say, Matt was just being a petulant child, like, and he was trying to force the argument. I don't know how much was for the cameras. I don't know how much was sort of genuine. Like he was just genuinely annoyed, and he's focusing on the wrong thing. It's like, look, mate, you're a fucking wet blanket, and she doesn't actually like you quite as much as she likes Jack. So, you know, even if she did say she loved you after a week, you know, guess she feels differently now. You know, she's 21. She kind of happens, you know. So I don't know. I just feel like he was showing himself to be a massive prick, and then also having a bit of a fucking snog with Amy, wasn't he?
Yeah. That was definitely Mark Owen, Dave, because he's a bit of a dirty dick, Mark Owen. So yeah, he was definitely
allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. That was Chris, by the way. But yeah. I don't know. I think like them as a three together. I mean, I did like the fact they made them live together, and it was like he's like, right, I'm going to bed. He's like, see you later, yay! And you can imagine them two dicking around.
When, like I said, I don't agree with how fucking Matt was trying to force the argument, but he's clearly wound up and upset, and then. Like, of course, the producers, what a glorious bunch of twats. They sit them all together, all three of them together. And she's there, like, trying to feed him stuff.
I know.
Like, playing about with him. And it's like, can you not just read the fucking room? Like, just let him stew. Don't, you know, you just literally ripped his fucking heart out. Don't pretend like, oh, let's have a little game. Let's be silly. Fuck off.
Yeah. Fucking brilliant. I did like that because he just sat there like going, he's just taking the piss now, you know. And I think it was the awkwardness, to be fair, with Jasmine Dave. I think she was trying to lighten the mood, but it wasn't funny. And it was, I didn't really think anything bad of her. I was sort of thinking she's trying to be funny. It's like you said, she's 21. Even though I think they were all Bellends, the three of them. I just felt it was Matt looking for his little moment in front of the camera, if that makes sense. Any little angle to get a little bit more airtime for his fucking story and his dodgy Take That band. You know, it's like, do you think, pal? But what about Mike, Dave? So Mike, Kelly, and Danielle. So I do want to ask you a question on this because I've been reading some stuff on Reddit this week, and maybe it's because we're both men, or maybe it's just me, my perspective. I was joking at like Kelly last week, saying like, "Oh, fucking hell, you know, we said about Glenn Close and all that thing, you know, bunny rabbits and that." But I do think Mike's a complete dick, and I think like he's played the game. He fucking dick. I mean, I've seen some of the social media stuff afterwards. Fuck me, is he desperate for? You know, whatever agency they're with, they are just forcing this bloke. I mean, he's even playing fucking crazy golf with Moses. And is it Jack? Near my house, there's like near the Trafford Centre near me, there's like, with Jack, there's a picture, Dave, fuck me. And Moses just is looking as if to say, what the fuck am I doing? There's a T-Rex behind him because it's a dinosaur. But we go past the motorway and there's a full T-Rex and velociraptors and stuff. It's like a dinosaur crazy golf thing next to the Trafford Centre. Right. And you're just like, yeah, it's great. In fact, I'm going to send you this this little link. But Mike is a dick. and I don't know what he was doing in this, but I'd seen people say that Kelly, they shouldn't have been on the show, and that the actual show, he was completely in the wrong, and like, why didn't they do a due process on her, because she was so volatile, and so you could see he was messing with her mental health and everything. And I think there's a case for that, because I was laughing about it last week. I was trying to look at it from her perspective, thinking, is it just me because we're always taking the piss? But like, ultimately, I like the fact that Kelly and Danielle sort of teamed up in the end. It was sort of like, no, you're a dick, mate. You're a dick. And I don't know what he was doing, mate. All this bullshit, the typical lines of, respect, man. I'm going to show some respect, and I'm going to do that. And it's like, you weren't. You're just a dick. He was trying to get your end away. That's all he was there for.
Yeah, I think the thing is, the way Mike was coming across, he was trying to be so diplomatic, wasn't he? Now, in fact, let's go back even further in the process, Chris, because again, well played, producers. You are fucking Bellend, like, because they've got all these people and they know. So take someone like Brody. Okay, you're there to promote your OnlyFans. Okay, we know why you're there. Lloyd, clearly just hungry for reality TV. Doesn't actually. He's a 31-year-old fucking DJ, and he's now trying to find his next grift. That's him. Okay, we kind of get that. Whereas I feel like Kelly is probably one of those people who did genuinely, drink the Kool-Aid a bit on these shows and think that they might work. I mean, Chris, spoiler alert, is fucking anyone together? I don't think anyone worked, did they?
No one is. No, not one of them. Not fucking one.
Not even close. And I want to come back. I know you mentioned before, but Jack and Ali, I want to come back to them as well. But it does feel to me like I could believe, okay, Michelle might have a social media thing, but I feel like she's drunk the Kool-Aid and she's on the show for that. And, there is a time window, isn't there? If a woman wants to have children, it's not just something you can put off till you're 50. You can as a bloke, can't you? So we don't have the same kind of time constraint. And I feel like the producers brought their fucking see you next Tuesday game out for this, because it's like, okay, this applicant here, Michelle, she's going to look great on screen, she's been cheated on, so she's got massive insecurities, she's 38, and she really wants to have children but hasn't found the wrong person. Okay, great. What we need to do, right, is we need to get someone who is much younger than her. Right, we're going to manipulate this. So, Mike, you think you've got choice, but you don't really. So, you really want to pick Michelle first. So, we'll have that connection, and we'll put someone in who's 8 years younger than you after that. And so, I think right from the off, Mike knew he knew he was going to go with Danielle, and he also knew that. Do I keep saying Michelle? It's Kelly.
You keep saying Michelle, yeah. I was going to say,
sorry, it's Kelly.
Is this a different show for your?
Yeah, no. I mean, you could have called me out at the time rather than let me run.
Well, you said it before. I'm thinking, who the fuck's Michelle? I kept looking, going. I've been looking on Google. Who's Michelle? And then I realised who you mean. Because I'm sure
Kelly,
people listening are going, "Who the fuck's Michelle, Dave?"
We really should script some of these things, but no, just fucking getting names wrong. That's part of our DNA, innit? But yeah, so Kelly, he knew he wasn't going to choose her, but you could tell, like, he felt she was more kind of vulnerable. So you could see that to be the good guy, he had to keep sort of concentrating on her, making sure she was okay, even though, just fucking rip the Band-Aid off, right? You've got more of a connection with Danielle, 8 years younger Danielle. I just feel like he was trying so desperately hard to be the good guy, whereas actually he should have just come clean right at the start and maybe kept his fucking dick in his pants in that first week.
Yeah, I agree. What? Well, it was supposed to be in proportion to his 6'6", 6'7" body, Dave. So maybe it's his party trick. I don't know. But what about one of the last couple really that, and I begrudge saying this because I sort of bought into the story initially, but I think I should have said this last week and I didn't. But Zaralina, Dave, for me, is absolutely someone who's going to end up on like Love Island or something else for me. I think that this last week, especially, I think she's fake as anything, and I think that the whole premise of her being on the show, and I'm jumping slightly to like the reunion stuff and all that, but it was basically doing a Lloyd, but she was playing the game, and she did play the game to the end, because ultimately Lloyd, who she's with, not OG Lloyd, Mr. Dating Lloyd.
Yeah, Lloyd too.
Lloyd too, actually, I think, bought into their relationship and basically said, I've never heard from her once production finished. And you're like, right, well. The story and everything was really like, the whole backstory about the hair and how she created a business, that was brilliant and that. But I just kept getting proper reality TV vibes, and I'm sure I've seen her in somewhere else, and I've not really looked, to be fair, because she just looks so familiar. But very, very interesting. I was thinking, you've definitely played the game pretty well, to be fair, to get to the end.
100%. She just played it in a more subtle way than someone like Lloyd won. Yeah. So, you can see she's had a lot of the work done and everything. I'm sure she looks great on Instagram, and, this is going to be her career. And I was the same. I was kind of half bought into it. And, I liked when they were reintroduced, she seemed to be genuinely happy to see Lloyd. And I was like, oh, right, okay, well, maybe this, something could happen here. But then at the reunion, she's like, oh, yeah, we've seen each other once, and he lives in York and I live in Preston. I'm like, okay, that's a 2-hour drive. Okay, so yes, you won't spend each waking moment in each other's pockets. But, you've seen each other once for a 2-hour drive away. That's about fucking intent, that. So I was like, oh yeah, you have just fucking played us, so well played. You've put on a good acting show there. But, again, it's another one where it's almost just drawing back the curtain and you see the fucking Wizard of Oz. It's like, fuck me, can't at least one of you have good intentions? And I mean, we can come back to these, but while we're on this subject, I want to call out fucking Jack and Ali as well, because again, I'm thinking, all right, maybe, this thing that's happened organically, not producer-led in the house, not part of any triangle, but just because they're together in this house, maybe something's happened there. But again, clearly they didn't have any fucking desire to even give it a proper go. So, yeah, the fucking... all a bunch of Bellends, Chris. No fucking... This is probably the fakest show I think we've seen. Or in terms of making it obvious how fake it is.
Yeah, I agree. And I think like, even the reunion, I felt the reunion was quite flat, if I'm being honest, Dave. Like, I think the only thing I got out of like them ceremonies was when Danielle fucked Mike off, but then he sort of turned around with his wormy, sleazy words, and they were like, well, we'll go for a drink then. I thought it was great what she did. Obviously, everyone else was bullshit. Jasmine picked Jack, not Matt. We knew that. Matt did say at one point, you're going to pick me. And I was like, is he taking the mick? And that, but I wasn't investing. When we get to the reunion, like, obviously, they're all glammed up. They're all talking. I know the presenter, she's done a few things. I was just like, this is fucking bobbins. Like, it really felt like nobody wanted to be there, if that makes sense. They brought a little bit of drama and a little bit of heat, didn't they? There was a little bit a needle, but I felt like what you've just said is right. I think because I wasn't really invested in it, basically the experiment fell flat on its fucking face. Nobody's together. I mean, Zaralina's with some guy called Sean. She's been with him for 6 months. So this was filmed ages ago, which we know with these shows. So she's got a boyfriend. Maybe she had him from the start. I don't know. Maybe it was just a platform for a business. Fair enough. Everyone else is doing it. I think I'd like to see, I said the Aussie version. I think I'd like to see the Aussie version. Yeah. To see, is it just the fact that they did have a good mix in the UK, but they didn't capitalize on it? If that makes sense. Will it be better second time round?
I mean, I have to think it's to do with the production. It's not just the casting. It's not just the couples or thruples. It's got to be to do with the production, because we all know it's fake as fuck. We know that you're going to have a smattering of people who are drinking the Kool-Aid and thinking, they're believing in the show and the premise. And they kind of have to throw us the Tolly and Arnie,
Yeah.
Ollie and Tony couple.
Yeah, that one, yeah. With Michelle. Yeah, good.
Get to the job. Tolly and Arnie. I'm imagining Arnie with someone called Tolly now. But anyway, so they've got to throw us something where we can say, okay, yeah, we're bored in them, we don't care, but they do look like they're actually working, so we can kind of believe, that this is an actual experiment. I think for me, when I sort of check out is when it's like, okay, I know a lot of you are there for your career, but I kind of, when it's everyone, the ratio's off, and even if everyone is, they need to hide it better. Like Zaralina, she played the game brilliantly. Like say, came back for the reunion. It's like, I can't even be asked to come up with a good excuse. Oh wait, no, we're so far away. I mean, Christ, can you imagine fucking Americans watching this saying, what, you're 2 fucking hours drive away? I have to go to a 7-Eleven for that. It's like, So, I don't know. It just, I'm glad we watched it. And there were moments where, I think the dinner parties, I mean, it's like you say, it's like your Poundland maths, isn't it? It's like, oh yeah, the dinner parties are really good. So let's not just have dinner parties. We'll have these like cocktail pies as well. And, it'll be all the great stuff from maths. And I do feel like the dinner parties are the best thing in maths. But there is a bit more to it as well. So, yeah, it's a bit of a miss. And I'm with you. I do kind of want to see, just for curiosity, the Australian version. And I'm sure there's a nucleus of a good format there. But, yeah, it came across incredibly fake. And so that's why it fell flat.
Yeah, I agree. And now, Dave, obviously, we're leaning and we're careering straight into our flagship show, Dave, the show that created the podcast. It starts on the 3rd of June. Love Island UK, my friend. Love Island UK. Now, there is a little bit of it's going to be a slightly different, isn't it, when we do this series, because I am actually going on holiday the day it launches, Dave. As usual, not planned anything. You would think almost like we do this as just like a, because we love it, and I just didn't check any dates. But I am away in Tenerife, but I will be watching it every day, so I'll be up to date. But we have got special guests on the first episode, haven't we, Dave?
We do. So it's a chap, a friend of ours, so Mike Burton from Genuine Chit Chat, and we're going to have his fiance Megan on as well. And Mike hates reality TV, so I kind of want to capture that essence of where I was before I got sucked in into the fold. So I kind of want Mike to kind of hate watch it for a week, and then we'll record at the weekend.
I will be back for the second episode, but we're not doing a daily podcast, are we, Dave, at all? Because it's just not. There's not a chance. But I can't wait for Love Island. I say this, and then after a couple of weeks, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And I end up watching it 7 days, because I watch all the behind the scenes episodes, because I find that they're usually better, because you get more of an understanding of some of the boring characters. They're not that boring. So I'll be watching it. I've already clued Sam up. We said we're going to, I said to Sam, are you watching? He said, I'm not watching it this time, but I'm definitely watching it, Dave, around the pool. So I'll have it on for a day. There's nothing better than just chilling out, buy a few cocktails by the pool, Dave, watching a bit of the bullshit Love Island stuff. So I'll be ready to go when I get back.
Nice. And I can't say I am massively looking forward to it, if I'm honest. It's more the looming iceberg that's coming up ahead. But I feel like last season was better, wasn't it? The season before, when you had like that Olivia, Olivia, remember her? Oh, God, so fake.
Yeah, I went with Vin Diesel. You were in the background. You fucking weren't. You fucking blagger.
So that was a really poor season, but I think if they can hit the heights of the previous season, I'll get bought in pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to, Dave, because I'm going to be messaging you from my own poolside. Well, it's not a villa, but I'll be there doing my thing, Dave. You know what I mean? Having a chat by the fire pit and stuff with people. You know what I mean? So, yeah, fucking brilliant. Anyway, big thank you to everyone as always, and thanks for suggesting this one when we got into it. Like I say, it just seemed to damp squib off, but you know, as anything, we love talking about these absolute bellends. So big thanks to everyone who supported the podcast. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. And Love Island always seems to be the one that sparks off the emails. So let's see who can be the first one to send us an email when that starts. I love talking and getting people's different views on Love Island. It really, really opens the conversation up. So really looking forward to that. If you want to follow us on social media at CD Realitycast, if you don't support us, please get over to patreon.com/CD Realitycast. So the roll call of honor and for the final episode of Love Triangle, a big thank you to everyone who supports the podcast, past and present. We do appreciate everyone who's contributed and gives us, big thumbs up for that. Is Stacey, Sinead, Jessie, Kathleen, Sims, Andrea, Nick, Danielle, Kim, Amanda, Larissa, Helen, Nicola, Fiona, Maggie, Zoe, Gillian, Keith, Helen, Chloe, Joanna, Libby, Susan, Hennessy, Lauren, Lucky Lily Green, and Kent Gustafson. So thank you so much, everyone. We really, really appreciate all your support, guys. And Love Island is on the horizon, Dave. And all I can say to you is, I've got a text.
Oh, I can't wait, mate. Well, we're going to play out to Love Island UK Bellends, but thank you very much. It's been good to go through this shorter season. I do like a short season, not like fucking Love Island, which is relentless for fucking ages. But anyway, thanks to all our listeners out there. Thanks to all our supporters, and we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.
Triangle, wild and free. Get ready for the drama on reality TV. Dance as a lane he couldn't see. He wasn't interested, just let him be. Danica and Lloyd, chasing fame, playing hard in this love game. Jasmine found Matt a bit too flat. Turn to Jack, imagine that. Mike's in a tangle, Kelly's near. Fatal attraction, full of fear. They're all Bellends, with their hearts on mend. Drama never ends, they're all Bellends. Saralina's eye on a different Lloyd. With Simon, she's just annoyed. Loves her parties, wild and free. No romance here, just let her be. Mike chose Danielle, left Kelly behind. Kelly's fury, out of her mind. Boiling hot, just like in the show. In this house, emotions flow. Danica and Lloyd, reality's dream. Jasmine and Jack, the new team. Matt's left wondering what went wrong in this house where hearts belong. They're all Bellends, with their hearts on mend. Drama never ends, they're all Bellends. As the season closes down, secrets out, no more frowns. Chris and Dave, they're looking for bliss, but failing that, they'll take the piss. They're all